the 2025 Honda HR-V. We only really have a subtle update to talk about, and that's regarding the Sport and the EXL trim levels. They now get blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert as standard. The only other change for 2025 is the price increase of $800 for all three trim levels. The LX, the Sport, and the EXL at the top, they all go up by $800. And if you want to add all-wheel drive, well, that's an additional $1,500. Really unfortunate. Of course, the Sport model, that seems to be pretty much your best value proposition in the lineup. The front-wheel drive version, it would have costed you $28,850, but if you need that all-wheel drive, it's going to be $30,350. Once again, that includes destination of $1,350. And I have tested this SUV, and I have to say, out of all of these smaller SUVs, this one does seem to be the most practical. Like, it's got decent space on the inside in terms of headroom and legroom. The trunk is decent, but the fuel economy, it's truly average with these products. And we still have here the CVT transmission along with the lackluster 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with 158 horsepower and 138 pounds-feet of torque. It's pretty slow, lethargic, and rather loud, and you don't even get a crazy good fuel economy benefit either. Like an all-wheel drive Sport, it's going to get 25 city, 30 in the highway. You're not really going to be beating those EPA estimates. Honestly, if it were my money, I would try to get like a carbon model Mazda CX-5 that's going to be even larger still, and it's just going to be an even more refined driving experience with some good features. And across the board, you get all-wheel drive as standard with the Mazda CX-5s. So if you're just going to be getting subpar fuel economy, I would rather do it in a superior vehicle like the CX-5 for literally not that much more money. And I've seen brokers like AutoCompanion offer like almost 10% off the MSRP. So on a $32,000 SUV, you're getting like $3,200 off. Whereas negotiating on a Honda is probably going to be a lot more difficult. Although if you're absolutely set on getting a Honda vehicle like this HR-V, then definitely still try to negotiate, use websites like JD Power to see what the invoice price is, and at least try to get these vehicles at that invoice pricing from a Honda dealership. But me personally, I always try to avoid these subcompact vehicles. I try to go to that next level up. I want to be at least at that RAV4 CR-V Mazda CX-5 type of level, because you just get a more practical interior with more refinements and more power. And something else that I don't like about Honda is the way they gatekeep pretty much all of the good features for the top of the line model. Like for instance, with this HR-V, they force you to get the EXL top of the line model to get the larger 9-inch touchscreen in order to get the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. When you go with the LX or Sport models, you end up with a 7-inch infotainment with wired Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto. But again, I know that a lot of people, they love this subcompact type of sizing. If you have to have a Honda and you don't mind sitting a bit lower, then really look into the Civic hybrid hatchback as well. That's also a rather practical vehicle, and the hybrid is really fuel efficient. I mean, even the turbo version of the Civic is going to be more efficient than this HR-V, something to keep in mind. But hopefully you found value with this content. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.